Hi guys, Coach Shami here. Today we're going to talk about everybody's favorite carbohydrates, right? So when we're looking at those macros and we're given a certain amount of grams of carbs to eat, depending on our goal, that'll either be a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. We have a couple of different options. So I like to break things down into heavy and light carbs. So first let's talk about the type of carbohydrates we should be eating. Then we can move into maybe the type of carbohydrates we should all be avoiding. So first of all, when we're looking at our heavy and light, as you might guess, your heavier carbohydrates are going to be your oats, your sweet potato, your different types of brown rice, your quinoa, different things like that. So whenever we're looking at those heavy, the reason I call them heavy is because they're very dense and they have a lot of calorie intake, right? So that versus 2 cups of vegetables is going to give me a whole lot more calories, a whole lot more nutrition, and I don't have to eat quite as much. So if you're somebody who's been given quite a few grams of carbohydrates, you definitely want to choose at least one heavy carb to satisfy you throughout the day, and then fill in with the light carbs. So let's talk a little bit about light carbs. They're going to be mostly our fruits and vegetables. So for somebody who is trying to do a heavy weight loss, you're going to be leaning into mostly just light carbohydrates. You're going to be getting some fruits early in the day because they are higher in sugar, and then vegetables throughout the evening and before bed. So vegetables are high in fiber, so it's gonna make you feel a little bit fuller, so it's gonna help out with that. And our fruits are gonna give us some energy from natural sugar in the fruit. Whenever we're talking about fruits, let's look at the best options are gonna be any berries. So berries are low on the glycemic index, which just means that they're not super high in the sugar, and they're still gonna give you that carbohydrate. No matter what your goals are, no matter who you are, you need carbohydrates for brain health and function. So if we were to cut out carbohydrates completely, that's when you start feeling really junky, you get that brain fog, you're not feeling right, probably not sleeping well. So don't ever try to completely cut out any one of these protein carbs or fat. Your body needs them to survive, your body needs them to function. So if you ever have been given a diet plan where it's like, don't eat any carbs, don't eat any fruit, that's not a sustainable lifestyle, and that's probably not leading you to true health and fitness. And that's what our goal is, right? We want to be healthy. We don't just want to look a certain way. We want to actually feel good and be able to do things. So we talked about our heavy carbs and our light carbs, maybe when to eat them. So fruits earlier in the day, vegetables later in the evening. And if you're looking at extreme weight loss, you're going to mainly just pick off that light carbohydrate track. Whereas if you're looking for sustainability or even performance, you're gonna have to at least choose one heavy carb. So depending on you and how your body processes food, that's what heavy carb you're gonna choose. For some people, we don't necessarily like giving them a lot of oats because it's hard for them to digest, it causes bloating, it causes gas. So what we like to offer for them is some sweet potatoes and different things like that. We also have beans. Just make sure that you always soak any type of bean beforehand, so that'll take a little bit of that gassiness away. And for somebody who doesn't really necessarily have a problem with gluten or their body processing through those grains, you can have at least 1 grain in the morning, get that body going, and that'll help take away a lot of those calories that you need to eat. Okay, so the last thing we want to talk about when it comes to carbohydrates is juices. So for somebody who has a lot of carbohydrates, so maybe somebody that's trying to up their performance in the gym, or somebody who has a lot of calories that they need to get from those carbs, a cup of juice isn't necessarily going to kill you, but we also want to make sure that everything that we're taking in, we are mindful that it's actually digestible and it's not just drinking. We don't want to drink a whole lot of calories. So we don't want to be making tons of smoothies and shakes. We still want to be using our mouth and our jaw and using our digestive system to work through these things. That's going to lead to more sustainability. That's also going to lead to a overall healthier body and fitness. So we want to make sure that if we do have juice, it has no added sugar. It's 100% just that. And we want to try to keep that to 1 serving a day, and don't let that fill up a whole lot of your carbs, okay? So juice is still somewhat okay. Again, make sure it's not got a lot of extra added sugar. And we want to make sure that we keep that to a minimum of 1 serving a day, and that's not taking up a whole lot of our light carbohydrates. Again, stick to light carbohydrates if you're looking for a lot of quick weight loss. And you want to try to stay with those berries and cherries for our light carbohydrates. Those are going to give you the best option for the fruit, okay? And then when we're looking at vegetables, we want to make sure that we fill that plate with vegetables, and we eat those more towards the end of the day. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment. We'll try to answer those as quick as we can. And again, like and subscribe and check us out. Thanks.